I have a question. Have you noticed that advocating hasn't been working? Have you noticed that? Parents with autism have been out here advocating and it hasn't been working. Yeah, that's what's happening. And today, I'm going to show you how to advocate so that it works in favor for your child. I'm going to show you how to advocate in reverse. We're going to learn how to shift the advocacy so that it works in your child's favor. Okay? So, we got to start with a definition. Okay? Because throughout this video, it matters. The word advocate has a number of definitions, and I think that we are not using that definition to its fullest. So let's talk about it. The word advocate means to argue for a cause, to plead in favor of. And that's pretty much the main definition. That's the way we identify advocacy. When we think about someone who advocates, or when we want to advocate on behalf of someone, that's what we think about, right? I got to argue for this cause. That ain't right. We need justice. I'm going to advocate. And so that's what we do. And in this case of being a parent with a child that has autism, we are advocating for positive change, okay? We are advocating to protect our child's rights for schools, for the workplace. We're advocating to protect the rights for programs, all types of various programs, and protecting their medical assistance. But also, we're trying to advocate to push for inclusion, right? We want our child to be included. We don't want them to be isolated just because they have autism, okay? So this is what we're fighting for. This is why we're, out there, we're writing the letters, we're in people's face, we're making our voices count, but it's not working. Have you noticed that? Why do I keep saying that? Because look around. Look around, okay? We have been advocating, and you would think that because the autism cases are going up, and there are more and more autism groups, there are more autism cases, okay? Families, parents, more and more people are banging down the doors, making the phone calls, sending in the applications, wanting change. You would think that the advocacy would work because there's more of us, right? It's like autism is becoming more popular now. Why won't they listen? There are more of us. I saw this magazine in the grocery store the other day. So I wanted to pick this up. And let me see if my computer is working right. I wanted to pick this up because I just wanted to see what it said. If you see it in there on here, it says it's, I don't know, however much money. But before you buy it, make sure you thumb through it first because you may not even need it. It says on here there's new research, new knowledge, understanding the journey. It makes you want to buy it. There's nothing new in here. There's nothing new in here that we don't already know. It gives some basic understanding about either what we already know about autism, what we already talked about on my channel, okay? Or whatever's Googleable, okay? It doesn't tell us anything new. It's like, hey, this is what autism is. This is how you identify the early signs. These are the early days of autism. This is what might be causing stuff that we've already talked about. Stuff that's already out here in the media. right? Autism in popular culture. It doesn't say anything. Advocacy is not working because there isn't any change. The new research has nothing to do with parents advocating. The problem is that parents are not being heard. Programs and funding is still being cut. Waiting lists are getting longer. So what do we do? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at those other definitions of advocacy. Okay? Some of the synonyms are support, help, aid, assist, rescue. These are all synonyms of advocate. Okay? And you think, well, Teray, what's your point? Of course, I'm going to help support and help and aid and assist my child. Of course, that's part of being an advocate. But the two things about this. Number one, part of what parents are advocating for is for the system to do these things for our child. We're advocating for you guys to support our child and to help our child and to aid our child and to assist our child and to rescue our child. And it's not so much there's a problem with that. The problem is that we're putting all the power in their hands. So parents are sitting around waiting for the support and the help and the aid and the rescue to come from all of the whatever's out there, the programs and the funding. And when it doesn't happen, the children are suffering. Because while parents are advocating and waiting for their help that cometh from the system, the children are lacking in what they need. Got it? Time is passing. They're growing. They're not getting the funding. They're not getting what they really need. This so-called new research isn't doing anything. The new knowledge, the funding isn't, in fact, the funding is being cut. So are the programs. Nobody has answers. All while the parents are waiting for the people to show up to support and help and aid. Parents keep talking about how much they need help, and help isn't coming. And so I want parents to take that power back. I think much of the issue is that parents don't know how to. So let's use this definition for advocacy instead. To favor actively, one that meets opposition. An individual who actively supports and promotes the interest of another person. Now, on one hand, you might say, well, Teray, how is that different? Because if you're actively supporting and promoting the interests, it doesn't mean go out and force them to do the support and the help and the aid and the rescuing. It means that you are doing that. You're taking that power into your own hands instead of running out and beating their door down, talking about, you do it. You assist my kid. You need to teach them. You need to figure out how to help them, because that's what's happening. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If the programs are out there and the funding is out there and they say that they're going to go and do what they said, where are you? How come you're not providing the thing that you said you would provide? But it's not happening. That's why we're advocating. But advocating isn't working. In the meantime, the children are suffering. Got it? So now we need an advocacy shift. Parents need to be the one to be the ones to take control, to take the power back, to do the things for their children. Parents need to use their energy to support their child's needs. Those children need to be heard. They need to be accepted. They need to be seen. Not by the people out there. They won't do, we can't make them do it. That's, advocacy is not working. So we need to do it. Got it? The kids need it. Use your fight. Instead of fussing at them, use your fight to rescue your child from the broken system. Protect your child from discrimination. You protect your child from being placed in the system. We talked about that in other videos just recently about how children are falling in the system, especially for parents who have to give up their own, what did we talk about? Their own custody, right? We want to protect your child from falling behind. Okay? And I want you to use your voice to communicate your child's needs appropriately. Speak on their behalf when the world can't hear them. Say no. Use your voice to say no when your child is being forced down a path that is not for them. And I understand there are a number of parents that are like, well, I thought that's what I was doing. Or I want to be able to do that. I don't know how. I've been doing that for 26 years for my son. Okay? If you need more information on how to do this, I am having a free workshop because I need parents to know this and how to do it. Okay? I'm going to drop that link in the chat so that you can sign up for my upcoming workshop in a couple weeks. It's free. I'm going to do a virtual Zoom workshop, and we're going to talk about how to use your energy for your child, how to use your fight for your child, and how to use your voice so that you can take that power from the system, use it directly for your child. Okay? The workshop is called the Confident Autism Parent Workshop. I feel like so many parents, the biggest issue is that your confidence is drained. You're overwhelmed has taken away your confidence. And your confidence has been in the system. And it's not your fault. Whenever your child is diagnosed, they say, this is what your child needs. And then they list all the programs and all the funding and all this. But it's not available, or it's been taken away, or it's a waiting list that may approve you or it may not. And we need to take that back, okay? Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And I want to see you in that workshop. Sign up, and I'll see you soon.